And today's book is Making Plant Medicine by Richo, Cech. Hey there, it's me, Lottie, and today what we're gonna do is another herbal book review. Not a review, but share, if you will. I've been doing a series where I'm sharing the herbal books that are near and dear to me, that have been valuable references, the ones that I particularly enjoyed reading, that touched my soul in different ways, or that were very useful. This could be considered recommendations or just things to pique your curiosity. And this is a collection that I've acquired over a number of years. So some of them may be outdated in certain ways. Maybe some of the language is dated, maybe even some of the techniques, or whether there is cultural responsibility involved. And so I recognize that everything is not up to date and everything is not for everybody. Everyone has their own style of learning and everybody has their own preferred maybe format. And anyway, I have an extensive library because I love books. I love to collect books. I love too many books. Anyway, I've been sharing the books that I purchased along the way in my herbal education journey, those that I used or still use regularly. And today's book is Making Plant Medicine by Richo, Cech. This book was recommended when I first started studying herbalism, and I ordered it. It looks like it was $20 at the time. And it says on the back here, it's a modern medicine making book and formulary with its roots in original herbalism, designed for every medicinal herb gardener to cultivate the full potential of the plant-human relationship. This book was originally published in the year 2000, and it is a great herbal reference book. And it does focus on making plant medicine. One thing I will say that I love about this book, before we get into what it is I know that the author's daughter was the illustrator for this book, and the illustrations throughout are very adorable. I can just say that part. They're so cute, this mouse. Oh. So anyway, I love that family was incorporated. This book, Making Plant Medicine. Let's look at the table of contents first, like I always do. It's divided into two parts here. The first part looks like it's medicine making techniques. I love that the very first chapter of the first part is called Granny and the Lunar Eclipse. Then we go into making a tincture, tincturing made easy, the math of tincturing, tincture basic formulas, solubility factors, dosage. Then we have vinegar extracts, herbal glycerites, teas and decoctions, herbal syrups, herbal oils, salves and creams, poultices, compresses, and soaks. And that looks like it comprises about the first 100 pages of the book. So we're going deeper into medicine making techniques. Then the second part is a gardener's herbal formulary. As you can see, it covers quite a list of herbs. And let's take a look at what that exactly means. So, for example, let's look at, here we have garlic. It's a very nice amount written up about this particular herb, and each one, it goes the parts of the plant that are used, how to make a tincture of the fresh cloves, direct consumption. It says raw and fresh garlic have different but somewhat overlapping effects than cooked garlic. Practical uses, the dosage of the tincture, how to make a cough formula, how to make a garlic ear oil, and if there are any contraindications. So it looks like they all pretty much follow the same format. And he goes into what these ratios mean in the medicine making portion. But we have for each herb the parts used. So that is very helpful. It's put right up front. You know, sometimes you just use the root, sometimes you use the leaves, sometimes you use the flower, sometimes you use the seed, the bark. Sometimes you might see aerial parts, which means all the above ground parts. So that's very helpful. And it even talks about like when the roots are of the mature or full medicinal potential, you know, how many years are needed. So again, how to make the tincture, direct consumption, practical uses, which I really like that inclusion of practical uses, the dosage, and then any contraindications. Let's look at the medicine making techniques. So this, for example, is the layout here, and we are making a compound cough syrup. So this really does go into a bit more detail, okay, around measuring in different ways, how to measure liquid, how to measure your powders, and the ratio of how much herb to menstruum or the liquid or whatever you're going to be extracting your herbal properties into. And this was the first book that I learned about mixing my herbs in the blender, you know, as a technique for macerating or chopping up finely. I will say that this book was a little intimidating to me because, I mean, he really goes into the mathematics of creating your herbal formulations, which, depending on your school of thought, that may be what you want to do. Now, he goes into, you know, he uses the example here of skullcap, tincturing the fresh flowering aerial parts. He starts with the formula ratio of 1 to 2, meaning 75. Look, I don't even know what it I'm like, what? Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, this is getting too much for me to just sort of blob out here right now. But anyway, it's a 1 to 2 ratio. The fresh herb weight, how much menstruum is your total volume? What's the plant's water content? 73%. Multiply that times this to yield that with a return of this, 92%. Anyway, girl, math. Math. Now, you know, there's many ways of making herbal medicine as there are herbalists, okay? I have done some of the math, and some of my teachers are really into formulations done in that way, and I've taken classes with them that have us doing, you know, percolations with powdered herbs and really getting into milliliters and grams and this, that, and the other. And it was very helpful to know. Then I have taken classes and done medicine making with those that employ a more, what do you want to call it, a folk approach, which is more like, here's our jar, it's halfway full, then we're going to cover it with our alcohol, and boom, you got a tincture. Each of those makes good medicine, okay? It really depends on the kind of herbalist that you want to be and what vibes with you. So what I can say about this particular book is he's going to give it to you. He is going to give it to you. If you go into a retail store and pick up a tincture like Herb Farm, the commercial blends that are on the market, you're going to see that they reference this kind of measurement and procedure, because this is how you're able to get a reliable result over time and track the differences, because you have a standard way of creating the medicine, so you're better able to track nuances and differences. So it is highly valuable as a resource, and like I said, really goes into detail about the ways in which you make your medicine. What I also want to say is this has on the back of it Horizon Herbs, but I wonder if they changed their name, because it was the Horizon Herbs seed catalog. And if I'm not mistaken, this is now strictly medicinals. Let me verify that for you. Okay, yes, I thought so. I just wanted to be sure I knew what I was talking about. So here I pulled up their website, because this is a great resource to know. They are now, so this, in addition to this book, and he has other books too, and I have one of his other books on growing medicinal herbs in the garden that I have not dug into as deeply as I want to. But so this used to be Horizon Herbs in Williams, Oregon, and now it's called Strictly Medicinal. Strictly Medicinal is still in Southern Oregon. It says, back in 1985, our family, the Cech family, started Horizon Herbs LLC, growing gardens of diverse medicinal herbs. Because we were fascinated by seeds and medicinal herbs, and at the same time couldn't find seeds for many of the herbs in which we were interested, we started collecting the seeds from our gardens and selling them through a homey, hand-illustrated catalog. The first catalog featured then 8-year-old daughter Naja's drawing of a calendula flower on the front. So as you can see, they, she says their children are grown and have children of their own, but by the grace of nature, we still work together here on the farm, making use of the talents of each member, design and construction, gardening and seed work, drug plant analysis, art and photography, writing, poetry, laughter, crying, it's all there. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. So, like I said, this is a valuable book and this is a valuable resource, Strictly Medicinal Seed Company. I have ordered seeds from their company and they have a great variety, and it's really nice to know that they're all collected and saved and put together with such care and intention. So that means a lot to me as well. But anyway, so I'm going to end here with this. Like I said, these aren't reviews. They're more just sharing. And this is a great addition to your library. And I would love to know what you think about it. You could order it from your library so that you're able to look it over and enjoy it and review it and see what you think. I think that would be a good idea. But I have enjoyed this book. It is full of good information. I really, like I said, love the section on practical uses, because one of my focuses is really about access and affordability, and how do we get herbs into our everyday life so that it's not like herbalism over here and then everything else I do over there, that they can, come together. So I would love to know, what is your favorite at the moment or overall all time herbal medicine making technique? What do you find the most enjoyable to make? And I would love to hear about that in the comments below. So please like and subscribe if you'd like to hear more content like this. I really love putting it together, and this is my offering at this time, this series on herbal resources. And if you have any resources that you want to share, please let us know. In the meantime, I hope that you're taking really good care of yourself. And until I see you in the next